This comment is absolutely right. According to his brother, they didn't quote unquote discuss the blackness in the family much. And I understand why, because when you come from parents and grandparents who decided, parents or grandparents, I'm not sure which it was, that decided when they moved to Chicago, they were going to change the race to white on the census. Okay, that means that they wanted their children to grow up being considered white. Okay, on the census, on previous census, his grandparents or whoever it was, his grandparents listed both of them listed themselves as black until they moved to Chicago. That's when they switched it to white. I don't want to say, you know, that happened with everyone, because it didn't. There are lots of black people who look white and they know I'm black. Okay. But yeah, this particular family decided to pass. And it's obvious based on the census records, because you list yourself as black your whole life, and then when you move to Chicago is when you list yourself as white. That's an automatic, yep, someone decided to pass as white. And this is how they wanted to raise their children. So that just is what it is, from a white passing family. And here's the news report talking about it.
Both of his maternal grandparents identified themselves as black or mulatto in several census documents. His two aunts also identified as black. On their marriage license, his grandfather listed his birthplace as Haiti. However, his birth records show he was born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. The birth records of the Pope's grandmother show she was born in New Orleans. However, in 1920, after the family migrated to Chicago, they marked down their race as white. It appears like so many families fleeing the South at that time, they shifted their racial identity. So many people talking about this online. I mean, it's just fascinating to see his lineage.
Absolutely, and very interesting in terms of his role as, a bridge builder between cultures. I think that's to me, that's the takeaway here.
Now, for anybody who wants to really understand, who does not understand white passing, you probably want to go and look, really do pay attention to this movie called Imitation of Life. Imitation of Life is one of the best movies. And also, there's another movie, a more modern movie called Passing. Those two movies, Imitation of Life and Passing, are great movies to understand what white passing actually is and how that was happening back in the day a lot. Not every single black person who could pass for white did. However, that would be something that some people wanted to do to get a fair shot at life, because passing for white would mean they could live out their full dreams, to whereas if you were black, it would make it 20, 30 times harder to even be a dancer or do this or do that with your life, because no one would accept you as that. Okay, you would be shut out. They wanted you to be something lower end. So yeah, that's why a lot of people did white pass, to try and make life easier for them, not just for themselves, but for their children.